Elements Cadre instructors. This is Deborah Humple, and I just am excited to update you on some of the work we've been doing over the past month, getting ready to ramp up the Elements courses for the 2013-2014 school year. We had a great meeting on June 24th with a great many of you here in Des Moines, or in Johnston actually. I know some of you who are viewing this weren't able to attend. No worries, we will get you caught up. But this is sort of just an update about where we wrapped up at the end of that meeting on June 24th and next steps. So that's really the goal of this little video, is to show you what's been developed and where we can get going, and then point towards what we're going to do in the next steps here. When we left off at that meeting in June, we had ended up with some decisions, tentative decisions about who was going to teach what and when, and attached to that we talked about building your specific courses or course depending on how many you're teaching. So I took that list, and I know that we've built those on the Moodle under technology there, so I will show you where those are. If you weren't at that June 24th and you don't see a course for your that you'd like to teach, or that information is missing, just let me know and I will get back to you about that as soon as I can. The other thing that we had a lot of conversation about was how do we share resources among and between instructors? How do we communicate as a cadre? So if something's working really well in mine, how might I do that? And also just where can we share some documents and things like that. So we've built an Agora community specific for this cadre to help you sort of do all of those things, communicate with each other, share resources, and do some development work even. And so I'm going to spend a little bit of today showing you how to get into that space and what you'll be looking at as you go through that. So first we're going to start out showing you your courses and where you can find those, and then we'll look at the ability to communicate and how we can share that information. So I'm just going to close down here. The first thing I want to take you to is down to Technology, Integration, and Media, and if you click on that, you will go up and you'll see the subcategory, and you can see the AAPD Online Elements. And then if you scroll down here, you'll see the Elements courses, and next to the titles, you'll see Elements, the name of the course, and then hopefully the ones that you are most interested in teaching or that you suggested you teach in the next year. You should see that course with your name behind it, and that will be yours. And I'm guessing that not everybody will be able to see this long list because you'll only see the ones that you are assigned. Go ahead and you can click on that, and you can see the module is right there. You can go through, scroll. If you want to change something, you can turn on that editing button and go ahead and change things there. So that's where you can find those specific courses. If you look through that and you do not see the course that you indicated you wanted to teach in the next year, or if one of them is missing or your name is missing because you weren't unable to attend the meeting, let me know and we will get those built for you based on your specific interest. So that's all there is to getting into your courses. The other thing I really wanted to show you today was the Agora, and this is really that communication piece that will support our work as a cadre. So let me go ahead and log out here, because I don't want to show you how to do this under administrator, and I will log back in as a student. So I've logged in under Mickey Mouse. He's a, you know, Rob Brookart, he's a big fan of Mickey Mouse, so this is one of our test users. When you get in here, it should look like this when you sign into your Moodle account. And you're going to want to go down to the Agora, which is found right here. Go ahead and click on that. And it will take you to our online community for Iowa educators. As you scroll down, you'll see that right here, there is the Elements Cadre. That's us. We're going to click on that. And this is what it'll look like. And you can see we have a general discussion forum. There's no specific topic here, but if you're part of this cadre and you have a question or something that's general or that you'd like the group to see, go ahead and post it under discussion forum. You can go click that, and it will take you straight to there. While you're here, one of the things you'll want to do, because if you've never been part of the Agora, you'll want to scroll down and go to Course Administration and click Enroll Me in this course. And all it's doing is enrolling you into the Agora so that you've got full access. Click Enroll. Sometimes if you don't do that, you may get into places where you're not able to upload things or do everything if you're only a guest. So again, when you get into the Agora, you'll want to click on the elements. I would just go to your general discussion forum. Scroll down till you get to Course Administration, and then if this is the first time you've been to Agora, it will say Enroll Me. Click on that, and that'll get you in with full access and ability to do everything. Another thing that we've created is the Elements Cadre resources, and this is really using the database function for different documents. And here you can share resources or URLs that might be useful to a specific course and or to a more broad audience. So you can see here, and this is a couple of resources that I've uploaded, a Getting into the Course Participant Letter and a Graduate Credit Times that we talked about. So those are two resources that when you want to see them, you can click on it. I put in a little description. And if you want to comment, you can go ahead and add a comment. For example, if something isn't working or you changed something and it worked better for you and you want to share it with participants to let them know that, you can do this. So this resource is really a letter that you would want to send out to your participants probably a week and a half before the course starts, saying how to get into the course, what the enrollment key is, your contact information, and any next steps that you would want them to take before the course starts. It's a draft. You can totally change it, but it's something for people to sort of take a look at and use if it's something that meets their needs. The other resource that I added was the Graduate Credit Times, and this was a to-do thing off of the list from June 24th. There were some conversations around for credit, because at the end we had decided that we would be offering everything for a 2-credit course, graduate credits. How does that figure out as far as in-class time and out-of-class time? And so this sheet really just helps you figure that out. And you can download it by clicking on the link. It'll ask you to, do you want to download it? Yes. And then it will open up in your Word. And you can see here it talks a little bit about how much time do we give for participating in a synchronous session? How much time do we give for participating in an asynchronous activity? And then how that fits with the graduate credit hours. Keeping in mind that for each graduate credit hour, we want 15 hours of in-class time or seat time, so to speak, and 30 hours of out-of-class time or development work and or implementation. So those two documents are just some things to get you started that was on my to-do list at the end of the last meeting. Now let's say you have a document that you would like to add, or your name, the course that it goes with, and then general resource if it isn't a specific course, a description, and then you can upload it if it's a document, or you can link it like a URL. Hit submit or save and view, and then it'll start showing up in that list. The last thing here is the search one, which is what I was on earlier. You can search by name, the course, and the ones we have are general resources, filter, and it'll pop up with anything that's under there. So this is a place to share those resources for our Elements and Cadre members. I'm going to flip back here. Go back to our group. Click on it. On this link, Elements Course Schedule, here's what I had from my notes about when people wanted to offer them. I do not have specific start and end dates. If you are on this list and you have those dates, let me know, and I will add it with more specificity. So if you know you want to start on the 10th and end on the 15th of the next month, let me know that, and I will get those added so we have a little more detail there. And then I have the link to the instructor vita. So if you remember correctly, every instructor who teaches for AAPD Online needs to submit that. And this is just a link that will take you to how to do that. And you can enter by your last name or your social security number and get in there and start creating that. If you need any assistance with that, let me know and I will help you get situated there. As we scroll down then, you can see that there is a category for each of the courses that have been developed that we've got in the Elements series. And you can see there. Each one contains relatively similar information, so I'm just going to go up to talk about the assessment in the 21st century course, but you can see the categories stay the same for all of them, just the course focus changes. The first thing you'll see is a discussion forum. So if you're a teacher and you want to converse with other instructors there, this forum is really where you can do that. You can add a new discussion topic and start threaded conversations. For example, if something worked for you that you want to share with the group, or if you have a question about the content of the assessment course, you can have this threaded conversation here. So people can talk to each other about that. We also have a link to the course proposals, and most of the courses have the draft of it. There are a couple who do not have a course proposal, but we'll want to get those out the door about 6 weeks before your course is being taught at the minimum. So you can click on that, and as a group, we'll want to update these courses so that they reflect that graduate credit that we're shooting for. And you can see here when you click there, we've got the name of the course, and it's information here, what the objectives are, description of the activities. We'll need to look at this to make sure that whatever changes we make are reflected in the course syllabus, because this does go out to participants of each course, and then submit it for review before your course goes live. The next part is a link to the course shell. So this is a blank shell that no changes have been made, that will take you there, and you can take a look at those and try to figure out what are the things we want to keep, what are the things we want to change. We talked about adding content, and if you remember, we talked a little bit about there are two ways really to add content in Moodle. One is to, perhaps if you take a look here, add additional information and content here in a module. So within Module 1, the second would be to add, for example, there are 5 modules in this course. We could add a whole 6th module there. So this is really where you're able to take a look at what you have as a shell, and then we're going to want to talk about what kinds of changes do we want to be making there as well. Oops, backed myself into the wrong course. Here we go. There. Here I'm back at Agora, scroll down, find my elements. So that's that section where you can look at that course shell. The last part is the wiki, and this is where I thought I set up a space for you and the people who are teaching that class to do some of your development work and conversation. So here, if you look at it, there's a little description. We talked about sort of the 2 basic ways you could add content to it. That adding content to an existing tab or adding content to new tabs. On our wiki, we have some general conversation, so if you want to go ahead and post some information there, you can. Otherwise, you can see there's one for each course. So you won't be working on every wiki just because you're not all teaching every course. But you can see if I were teaching the 21st century learning one, I can go in and start developing some different ideas and sharing some stuff with the different instructors about how we want to change. You can see again, there's one for each course. And the little wiki tutorial here shows you how to go and edit those wikis and if you're going to add information there. As you're doing this development work, you'll want to keep track of how much time you're spending and any documentation that you have to go with it. I talked to Evan, and we'll be in this email that goes out with this, talking about how you'll be reimbursed for the time that you work with your other instructors to add this content to the courses. So that's kind of the Agora. For this, and I think it's going to really facilitate general discussion, the sharing of resources, just scheduling issues and things like that, and then that additional content development and work that we're doing around each of the courses there. Alright, as we wrap up today then, we want to talk a little bit about next steps for Elements Cadre instructors. The first thing I would recommend is join the Elements community in the Agora and familiarize yourself with that. 2, find your courses and then collaborate with instructors who are teaching the same course and work on that course proposal, additional content development, and any new course content that you'd like to add, and submit your VITA. I guess one of the bullet number 4, which is not number 4 here that's not listed, is be in contact with me. We want to keep those proposals going out at minimum 6 weeks before your course starts, so we have time to get the information out to the field and let people know you're teaching that and that's available on the course catalog. And I, of course, will contact you prior to those also and just sort of touch base and make sure that we're ready to go so that we can get those courses out the door and all the information you need. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know. You can reach me here at dhumple@aeapdonline.org, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks. Bye.